Hello everybody, today we are looking into what is Vulkan, and we go into most of the topics that we have on the outer side of Vulkan. We don't go into the programming side of Vulkan, we just look what theoretically is possible with Vulkan. And I have made some timestamps that you can go to the questions that you are interested in, and I would say let's go and look what Vulkan can do. And now, what is Vulkan? Vulkan is an API made by Kronos Group. Kronos Group has made many more APIs for other topics, but for now we are only using Vulkan, our graphical application programming interface, for this example. And now I have some other topics. It is a direct interaction with the graphics hardware, the GPU. And it directly communicates with the code that we write with the GPU because it is also based on it. And this is only for the graphical side, that everything that you see on your monitor will be processed by the GPU and written in Vulkan or another language or API that can handle the hardware or the GPU that is built into your computer. And then it is a low-level application. That means it's very close to the binary code. And to that, it is very performance-based. Because it is a low-level application and close to the binary code, you can do so much with it and put everything in the exact order that you want it, and without too much code or code that you don't use, but you have to implement it because it's a higher level language that uses blocks that are integrated, that is fixed code inside, that uses performance that you cannot manipulate when you don't have a low-level application. And then it is cross-platform. That means it is made for basically Android, Windows, or for example Linux, and you can run this program or this application everywhere you want, and you don't have to make another game or what you do to make it run on other operating systems. And now I quickly want to go into what is an API and how it says it's an application. So a platform where you can build something, what it is used for, and then it is for programming. So there is a programming language behind this API that you have to work with, and then it's an interface. It connects something with something different. For example, if you want to connect your game to the graphical side so that you can actually display something, it is the interface to do that. And that's everything that an API does, and they have their different function or interfaces that they are used for. And the next question is, what is it used for? And basically, like we said before, it's basically just for 2D and 3D graphics. Everything that's on the monitor, you can also make it with Vulkan. And the only difference is it is low level and you can do so much more of it. You can increase the performance and everything. You can manipulate so much more than with other graphical APIs because it's very low level, but it means it is exponentially more difficult. So if you want to learn Vulkan, you have to prepare to have a lot of frustration. And I also put VR, virtual reality, next to it. It is basically 3D graphics, just a little bit different, but it supports it because there are some systems that have to be different while you write the program, and they support VR. If you want to do VR, Vulkan is an option. And yeah, let's go to the next question. And now, why Vulkan? Vulkan is a very difficult language because it's very low level. And because it's low level, you need a lot of code that it can run. For example, Vulkan needs over 1,000 lines to render a triangle, for example. To render a whole picture or 3D model, you don't need many more lines, but just to initialize it, you need over 1,000 lines. For example, if you use OpenGL, you only need 200 or 300 lines for the same thing, but there have some other things they are not that good at as Vulkan is, because you can manipulate much more in Vulkan. And if you are really sure that you want to learn Vulkan, just do it. But if you want to make an application for something else that is not very important to have a high performance, use an easier application, not Vulkan. Vulkan is a very difficult language, and if you really want to learn Vulkan, then you have to be a very dedicated person, because it will be a very steep learning curve to learn it, and you will need a lot of time to go into Vulkan itself. And if you are still here, we are going to the last questions. Why this video? And you might know, after seeing all this, I'm the person that is crazy enough to go into Vulkan directly after I started learning C++, and even this was a crazy decision. And now I make another crazy decision after learning for over a month of C++ that I want to decide to go into Vulkan. And yes, I may be crazy, but I love to challenge myself, and you can continue watching my videos and see where I end up. Maybe in a year you will look at the same thing I'm doing now at a completely new view, and yeah, let's see where I end up in the later time. And with this I say this is the end of the video. I hope you learned something or enjoyed watching my video, and with that I say bye.